Well, California is getting slammed by yet another system, creating more rain and flooding potential. Another one is possibly on the way next week, and that helps to prop up the warmth from the Central U.S. So we've got a moderate risk of excessive rainfall here in Southern California, right over the Los Angeles area, and slight risk all up and down the coastal areas where they've been seeing just tons of rain, of course, this winter. All part of a pretty typical El Nino pattern. This is 2 winters in a row now of some heavy rainfall for California, and this is the heaviest of it this morning, and today is right in Southern California. You can see this plume of moisture that stretches all the way into the tropical Pacific, part of this upper level trough that is just pretty persistent here on the West Coast. And while they'll get a bit of a break later this week in the weekend, another system could be headed that way next week. So this is Los Angeles area radar. You can see a plume of steady rain all the way back hundreds of miles out into the Pacific. So it is going to be a wet Tuesday into Tuesday night with another round of potentially heavier rainfall later tonight. So we've got flood watches up and down all of coastal California pretty much. Winter storm warnings in the Sierra Nevada, where of course it will fall in the form of a few feet of snow in some spots. Just over the last 24 hours, we picked up quite a bit of rainfall too, anywhere from 1 to 3 inches of rain across much of California. And of course, this is in the form of snowfall. So this is the liquid equivalent in the Sierra Nevada. But when we step back over the last 72 hours, remember last week we talked about Northern California getting several inches of moisture. That's the 72-hour precip there. But now it's Southern California's turn. When we look at the percentage of normal precip for the last 60 days, so for a good chunk of the winter, everything in blue here is at least double normal precip or more. Some places seeing triple the normal 60-day precipitation values. And so here comes this next surge of moisture overnight tonight. This is 2 a.m. Wednesday, another round of rain for Southern California, and heavy snows in the Sierra Nevada. And then we get into that bit of a break. But additional rainfall could be substantial, anywhere from 1 to maybe as much as 3 inches of rainfall here in Southern California. We'll zoom in a little more here into Southern California, Los Angeles into San Diego. This is a lot of rain for them in any given period, but especially on top of already saturated ground and with another system in sight here. Now, normally this pattern breaks down in March sometime, but we still got some more to go here. Snowfall, again, substantial, 2 to 3 feet in the Sierra Nevadas. That's why we have those winter storm warnings across the mountainous areas. And then that system will track east and create some precip here in the Central U.S., the Ohio River Valley, Mid-Atlantic, looking at some rain, even a little bit of snow for some inland parts of the Northeast. But this is mainly going to be a soaker for parts of Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, into West Virginia, where we could see a large area of 1 inch plus of precipitation, mostly in the form of liquid as we head into the later part of the week. But as I mentioned, we are watching the West Coast again early next week. This Pacific system is going to be becoming a slow-moving, cut-off upper-level low, looks to spin off the coast of California into the weekend, and then come back into Southern California early next week. And this overall stormy pattern on the West Coast and East Coast really props up the upper level pattern, creating this ridge of high pressure aloft in the middle of the atmosphere. So places like the Central U.S. and the Eastern Rockies, we continue to be mild and relatively dry and quiet. So these are forecast temperature anomalies over the next 10 days, way above normal, continued here across the upper Midwest, but all the way down to Texas too. So more of the same and no end in sight to that pattern.